3 times. 4 times. Doing gang things. Living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Being on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach screaming on the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing on Mercedes bands. Won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real man talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you peak these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. Daddy came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of in the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Manu. Shalom and shalom to everyone this evening. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Yanika, thank you for joining me, sis. And shout out to everybody on TikTok. I'm actually live on TikTok this evening. This is not a Temu weave or a wig. This is actually my hair. So feel free to join in the conversation. I'm going to be reading comments off of my Facebook too, because when I go back and check like the playbacks, there's comments on Facebook and I always miss them. So if you hear me reading something that you don't see on the screen, it's either going to be from TikTok or from Facebook. Okay. All right. So evening. Thank you for joining me. You could be anywhere on the worldwide internet, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. Yes, honey. I don't know. Where is your daddy? Okay. Well, he should be out there somewhere. Oh, him and Dante is folding up the white bouncy outside. Okay. See you later. Love you. Yamaya, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining us. Listen, we have some exciting things going on here at the House of Mono. If you were not able to tune in this morning to Spirit Filled Israel, there was a Bible study this morning at 9 o'clock. You can go back and check that out. If you are not already a subscriber, please hit the like, share, subscribe button on the YouTube at Monologue Magad, or if you are at Miss Mono's World, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. And also, when you turn your notifications on, you'll know when any of us go live on any of the platforms. That's Spirit Filled Israel. That's Why Boaz on One Show Ass, which you are currently tuned into. Now we're going to be doing a Talk About It Tuesdays with Pastor Kendall and my husband. And tomorrow, actually on Fridays, you're going to be getting the both of us. That's right. Myself and Mr. Monologue will be with y'all on Fridays. Yamaya Tawada, thank you, sis. We'll be with y'all on Fridays, and that's just going to be us talking, chit-chatting. That'll be a chance for you guys to ask some questions that you may have for the men. My husband, you know, he loves these conversations, so he'll be more than happy to answer those questions for y'all. So hopefully y'all can join us. That'll be tomorrow at 8:30. We usually come on at 8, but we'll be on tomorrow at 8:30. Divinely Shalom, thank you for joining me this evening. Okay, so I made something, smart femininity, right? And what I really want to get into is the difference between femininity and submission. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I often hear, or we often see, where women are saying, I'll wait to be feminine, or I'll be feminine when I feel safe. But then it's like, as a female, aren't you always supposed to be feminine? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. I do have a clip to share with y'all right now, though, that I want to discuss. Actually, a few of them. But let's get into this one first. Okay. And yes, we're going to talk about y'all girl Holly Berry too, but for right now, let's get into this clip, and I want y'all to listen to what's being said. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay. So this lady, she lost her Rolex. I don't know if she lost it or I'm assuming it was her. She's the one that lost it. Lost the Rolex, tried to take it back. She was gambling, tried to take the Rolex back. So let's listen.
Whoa. You just come forward with a boss nigga. I'll buy you a new Rolex. Okay, y'all, place your lips.
Okay, so so much wrong with that. Angelina, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you. The first thing I want to discuss is, why is this lady out here gambling with a bunch of dudes anyway? Why are we out here in this element? I mean, even, you know, again, in the name of equality, you're helping to destroy yourselves. You, as a lady, you don't belong in that element. Those are grown men. They're going to be aggressive, first of all. Secondly, she has proven that we as women can't handle it. We can't handle that. I mean, you lost a watch in a bet, and that's it. You should just let it go. But what did she do? She tried to get it back. She wanted to fight and get it back. And then when she couldn't get her watch back, what did she want her man to do? Now she's trying to punk her man as if he's wrong. And then like it's his obligation to go and get that watch back. And that's not wise either. Like, why would you put your man in that position? Why would you put your man in? And let's be real, nothing like that is ever going to end well. So now you're sending your man into, I don't even know I don't want to call it it's a lion's den. That's what you're sending a man into. You're basically sending him into a lion's den over something that you really have no right to be upset about. Okay, so now you're punking your man, basically telling him, he need to go get his stuff back. You're screaming at him, you're hollering at him. And so then, I don't know if y'all heard it, but so then when one of the men that was off camera started yelling, "Hey, you need to come mess with a boss. I can get your Rolex back." The level of disrespect. But then you put your, and this is what I be saying to y'all about how we have to watch how we behave. Not just as single women, but especially once you get married, because now you're dealing with your man's name and reputation. Okay, because now this man has to walk around with the knowledge, and he's not the only one that knows. The world knows, okay, because this is on social media now. So now the world knows, all right, that your man basically got punked. And I'm not even referring to him not getting a Rolex back, because that's not, no, that would be dumb for him to try to do that. But to have another man yell, I mean, I know how I would feel if me and my man into it in the public and some female just yell out, "Hey, come get with you a boss B. You ain't got to take that from her." I would be like aghast. Like, how dare you? Excuse me, mind your business. Okay, so I can only imagine like how this man feels. And we have got to stop doing this. These are the kind of situations that we put our men in that have them ending up dead or in jail, because we want to get in our emotions. And imagine if he had not been there to see how it actually occurred, and she ran back to give her view of events. Right? Because we know, we've all seen them females that like to talk junk. "Oh, I'll go get my man. I'll go get my brother. I'll go get this. I'll go get that." And when they go back and tell these stories, they are telling their inflammatory, biased version of the story, while putting a battery in this man's back to put him in a bad situation where he could end up losing his life or going to jail. And I'm just saying, like, we have to do better. We have to do better as a whole. You should have kept your behind in the house. Exactly. Why even put yourself in that situation? There should be no, like, she just shouldn't have been out there, period. There is no reason for her to be out there like that. And then embarrassing her man, hollering at her man. Listen, I mean, you lost. Like, there's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to do. And I don't understand it. Me, if I would have lost like that, like, I would have been so embarrassed. I would have just wanted to walk away. Like, I would have wanted to walk away. I'm not trying to put my man in a situation where he feel like he got to fight for me. And then you saw it was like a lot of them out there. So clearly it would have been a jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be a fair one. It's going to be a horrible situation. So we've got to do better, you guys. Brianna, shalom and shalom. And, not just when we're dealing with our men, but like I said, our brothers, our cousins, the men in our life who we know we can call on to protect us, if you are so fortunate to have that in your life. I know not everybody does. So, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this other. Natasha, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me, sis. Some people really don't think things through. They don't. She did not think that through. Because why would you? Who gambles a Rolex? I mean, honestly, first of all, who puts a Rolex up when they're gambling? And then you have an emotional attachment to this item. And then when people start saying that women don't belong in certain places, y'all gonna want to get mad and feminism, equality, but this is why they don't take us places, because we don't know how. So, all right, hold on. I want to pull up this little gem right here. I can show it to you guys. This was sent to me earlier this week, and I feel like it's something we could get into. And please, y'all, if y'all come across any clips or anything in your, traveling among the internets, please send them to me, DM them to me, so we can go over them and talk about them. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull this one up for y'all. Now, this one is a little juicy, so put on your seatbelts. That one, no, not that one. Yes, it's this one. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn it.
Why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to procreate with and then complain later when they're irresponsible?
No.
The women who have a one-nighter with a bartender or a guy on a motorcycle or a musician, and then you complain later on the guy's a deadbeat. He was a deadbeat to begin with.
Why nobody can ever talk to you, because you don't let any...
People talk to me all day long. You can't talk to me.
No, I'm trying to talk to you and you're talking over...
Dear, don't tell me how to do a radio show. I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need your help.
Oh, okay. Let me. Can I please just say this? I was married once before, okay? Mm-hmm. My husband and I had a child together.
Right.
After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years, I left him.
Really? But why did you tolerate it for 2 years? Can you tell me why you tolerated being beaten for 2 years? I'd like to hear about this.
My answer to that is because I was young and stupid.
Okay, I agree with you.
There you go.
You were stupid. No doubt about it. And now what are you going to complain that he doesn't pay child support? A guy who beat you for 2 years? Imagine that. The guy is irresponsible.
Right.
He beat me for 2 years, and now that deadbeat doesn't pay.
So why is it my
There's your big concern. Now we see why you're so upset about this. You chose a manifestly irresponsible, violent individual to procreate with. Then you're amazed that the guy doesn't send you child support.
He didn't beat me until
you're still, you know what, dear? You were young and stupid. Now you're old and stupid.
Why don't you ever talk about the men?
Okay, y'all. So let's unpack that, okay? And in light of your girl Holly Berry just being ordered to pay $8,000 a month in child support, she has to pay $8,000 a month. She has to pay 4.3% of her salary that she makes over $2 million. And what I think she had to pay him some other ridiculous amount of money. Okay. So in light of that, let's keep that in mind now when we're discussing this, because, and I don't disagree with anything that was said. I don't disagree. We as women have to start taking more responsibility for who we procreate with. Okay. As much as we, again, like to live in this world of, right, Yamaya, he didn't say nothing wrong at all. Truth be told, shalom and shalom. Yes, you were young and stupid, and now you're old and stupid. And see, this, we choose to procreate with these men. And as much as we like to get on these here internets and bash men and talk about how men are dogs and why they keep doing this to us and why they won't change, the fact of the matter is, you'll sit here and say why they keep doing it to us, but you keep putting yourself in a position to have it done to you. Okay. I mean, again, it's like the stove, the hot stove analogy. You keep touching it, and every time you touch it, you say, ow, it burned. But as soon as that burn gets a little bit better, you go back and touch it again. And we keep doing these, and it's not just us doing it to ourselves. We watch it happen. How many of us come from a long line of single parents, single mothers? How many of us come from a long line of domestic abuse victims? How many of us come from a long line of battered women? I mean, we see this happen over and over again, not just to us, but to those who've come before us and to the other women that are around us. But yet, like this young lady, instead of us immediately taking responsibility and saying, you know what, I just should not have stayed with him for those 2 years, we want to say, oh, I was young and dumb. But listen, the fact of the matter is, and this is what we need to like get a grasp on. We need to totally understand that you cannot control the consequences of your actions. Okay? I'm going to say it again. You cannot control the consequences of your actions. You can make the choice to take the action, i.e., you make the choice to continue to deal with this person, even though you know they're not good for you. You make the choice to deal with this person, even though your family, God, the angels, and everybody else has told you, leave him alone. But you continue to choose to deal with him because you love him and whatever silly reason you tell yourself. And then when it doesn't end well, when you are left with a child, when you're left with an STD, when you are left traumatized in some way or the other, you want to blame everyone else. But the fact of the matter is, you're never going to grow. You're never going to change. You're never going to be able to elevate from where you are if you don't take responsibility for your part in that action. If you're not willing to say, yeah, I messed up, man, I knew I shouldn't have been doing this, then your next relationship, situationship, friendship, whatever y'all calling it these days, your next episode is going to repeat itself. It's going to be a rerun of the previous situation, at least, if it's not worse. Phoebe, righteously shalom and shalom, thank you for joining me. I mean, come on, like how insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? That's the definition of insanity. So why do we keep doing this? And then it's like to keep screaming that it's the other party's fault. It just makes it seem like you're kind of helpless in the mental department, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's like the person who walks into a parked car and gets mad at the car that was just parked. Like, you saw me sitting here. There's no way you didn't see me sitting here. Yes, ladies, there's a post going around that says, how come a woman's intuition can always tell when a man is cheating, but he can't tell when he's unhappy? Well, how come y'all always know when a man is cheating, but you can't tell when he ain't no good for you? Where's your intuition then? We can play I Spy about everything else. Let another female put a love one of his pictures. You done found out her address, her phone number, her birthday, her mama and them, her daddy and them, the grandmama. You know her entire family history in 2 hours, but you couldn't tell that he wasn't no good for you when he wasn't answering your phone, wasn't answering your text messages, only called you at 11 o'clock at night. Never had time to be seen with you during the day. Like, your intuition never went off during that time. But let another girl smile at him and all of a sudden you're Nancy Drew. It's not making any sense. Y'all, please forgive me. Monologue McGadd is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Is we going on tomorrow so I can tell the folks? Sir, is we going on tomorrow at 8:30 or no? Okay, can you turn that TV down a little bit, please, so I can hear myself in here? making it hard for me to think. Oh, now I gotta wear the headphone. All right. Oh, that's my favorite one. Really? Oh my goodness. Okay. Um. So yeah. So that I mean, y'all got the basis of that clip, right? Um. We just have to start taking responsibility for our own actions beforehand. You know. It's too late. You know. Of course, once you're pregnant, it's too late to go back and say what you coulda, shoulda, woulda did, and now you have to be responsible for a whole nother person. And as much as we want to sit up here and applaud single moms, it's kind of like, well, you shouldn't have did it in the first place. You know, it's not like, and I'm it's not like jail where, or prison or whatever, where you get time off for good behavior. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to brag about how they're such a great single mom. Like there's some kind of reward in that. Like you're gonna get some kind of trophy or something from the world. I still don't understand this single mom bragging that we like to do in our community. Um, y'all wear baby mama like it's a badge of honor, and think about the term baby mom, okay? They only had to come up with the term baby mom because y'all stopped getting married and even being ex-wives. Like, so now we have to come up with a term for a woman who you just randomly had a child with without the privilege of marriage. I know that sounds old fashioned. This is what they tell you, right? That, oh, you don't have to get married to have a baby anymore. And hear me out. Yes, there are women who have been married and have ended up as single mothers. But there's a difference between I'm gonna say it like this. There's a difference between being a divorced mother and being a baby mama. Okay. A divorced mother has an ex-husband who's still cooperative, who's still present, who's still very much a co-parent. You baby mamas out here just getting knocked up by anybody. And next thing you know, you're the next random man in Atlanta. Okay. Next thing you know, you're on TikTok talking about you got your baby from a random man in Atlanta, and we're going through this saga all over again. And so here, I'm not trying to, no, nobody's perfect. Okay. People get in relationships every day that seemingly seem perfect and beautiful and like, oh, this is going to last forever. But what I want to say is, can we at least give ourselves a fighting chance? Like, can we don't even try to do things the right way anymore. We don't take this joker to meet nobody before we let him move in. We don't care about no kind of STD testing. We just lay up raw dogging. Like, we don't take him around our friends. We don't even tell anybody about him until we're pregnant. And now all we're going to do is complain because he's not playing the role that he never signed up to play. And can we talk about that? And I think let's just go ahead and add it as our main topic, okay? Because I think this is all going to tie together. The difference between femininity and submission, that ties into what I'm about to say, because I feel like a lot of times once we decide that we like a man, we decided for him that he's gonna like us as much as we like him too. Especially when you have sex with them. I mean, let's be real, okay? Can I need to talk to y'all for a minute, okay? Listen. As much as we want to act like again, that we can do things men can do and it doesn't affect us in any kind of way. We all know that that is not true. Okay. If that were true, it wouldn't always, if that were true, the stereotype of the broken-hearted woman would not exist. Okay. The stereotype of the broken-hearted woman exists because oftentimes it is the woman that is left broken-hearted. We have to accept the fact that once we submit ourselves to a man physically, you have allowed him to access, if you will, to a different part of your psyche, your emotion, of your being that other random people don't have access to. Okay. This is why this man can affect you. This is why this man can make you cry. Y'all break up. You can't eat. You can't sleep. Life is over. Okay. And again, we go through the same thing over and over again. So you meet a dude, y'all kick it for a week or two, you decide to break him off, and then 3 months, 6 months, a year, y'all kicking it in, whatever land y'all in, situationship, friend with benefits, whatever land y'all decide to kick it in, y'all kick it in that land. And if you're good and safe and lucky, you come out unscathed. Okay. It just fizzles out, the wheels fall off, it just fizzles out, you go your way, he goes his, and that's it. But a lot of y'all get caught slipping and you can't just walk away. Now there's a child involved, you done made another life with this person. You can be feminine without being submissive. Okay. Femininity is about who you are regardless of who's around. It's like your character. Okay. It's the way you carry yourself. It's your etiquette. It's the way you choose to present yourself, the way you speak to others. That is your femininity. Okay. Me saying thank you to a man when he opens the door for me, that is polite and feminine. That is not submission. That is not me submitting to this man. I didn't do anything. We have no ties. We have no relationship. He opened the door. I said thank you. For some reason, though, it's like that simple act of saying thank you for a man holding the door for you. Like, some women just act like that is just beyond them. Like, how dare you suggest that he owes me to open and he should open the door for me. No, that's not how that works. Okay. Being polite on a date, saying please and thank you, being mindful of this man's pocket, asking before you just go and order things. That's femininity. Okay. The way you speak to him, the way you handle disagreements, these are things that are just a part of who you are, no matter who's around. Okay. If you carry yourself in a soft and gentle manner, you're going to do that no matter who's around. Right. Submission, okay, is it's a specific attitude behind your actions, usually toward one person. Honey, can you please close that door, please? Okay, but it's thank you, please, sir. Your submission is usually your attitude or your spirit behind your actions toward one person, right? Me and my husband can be at a gas station, right? And I can be walking across to the store or whatever, and he can call my name, and I'm gonna stop and turn around and see what he wants. That's my husband. Now, I could be walking across to the same gas station, and some random call my name. I'm not. Who are you? I'm not even obligated to turn around. There's a difference. Okay. My husband can check me about what I'm wearing out my house. And as a good wife, I'm gonna hear what he's saying, and I'm gonna go and examine myself. See, but y'all be ready to give this same power and privilege to a boyfriend. And hear what I'm saying by this. You should let a person do what they want to do so they'll show you who they really are. Okay. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, if he has a problem with something that you're wearing, right? And he states that, as your boyfriend, you're not obligated to hop to turn around and change what you have on. Okay. As your boyfriend and someone that you're just dating, just getting to know, now, ma'am, sis cousin, is your opportunity to sit down and have these conversations with him. Well, I like this. Why does this bother you? What about this don't you like? And now's the time for y'all to sit down and talk and see if you can come to some kind of meeting of the minds. Okay? That's the feminine way to handle this. Okay? You can be feminine, you can have that conversation. Where we go off is where we want to say, excuse me, who's you to say anything about what I'm wearing? You not my husband, and all the next. Now you're going off. That's completely out of line. Okay? But you can be feminine in this situation, have a calm conversation. And now this is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for you two to decide if you want to continue in this relationship. This is what those things are for. This is why you have to spend time with the person, get to know a person, go through these different seasons with a person. Okay. But even in that, don't feel like you're obligated to be cooperative or submissive to that level to someone that you are not married to. I think, and I think a lot of men have femininity and submission mixed up as well. Yes, of course, you want a lady, you want someone who knows how to act, you want all of that. Thank you for the rose, Kaya. You want all of that. You want femininity, you want friendliness, sure. But he's not, sis. He's not he does not have a right to your submission. Okay? In femininity, we can sit down and discuss things, right? We can sit down and discuss our finances. These are the times when we're supposed to be discussing them, when we're dating. But now, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Shalom and shalom to everybody on the Facebook. Natasha, Nicole, thank you for joining me. Everybody on the TikTok, Rosemarie, Kaya, Sandra, thank y'all for joining me. You can follow me at Miss Mono's World on all of your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're talking about the difference between femininity and submission, and particularly when dating. So here's the thing. You're not, Yamaya, thank you, sis. This is a much needed conversation, especially coming from a wife. You are not obligated to be cooperative with your boyfriend. Okay. That's your boyfriend because you like him, y'all get along. This is somebody you want to spend a lot of time with, okay? During this dating time, this is the time to hash out all your differences, come to some common ground, see how you agree on scripture, how you are to carry the law out. Do you agree on Sabbaths? Do you agree on modesty? How do you want to handle your finances? What is your vision for the future? These are the things you're supposed to be working out when you're dating, okay? In this time, yes, you are supposed to be feminine. What do I mean by that? Even in moments when you disagree, you will continue to have a soft answer. There's no reason for you to yell. There's no reason for you to holler, especially if you guys are just dating. We give way too much gravity to casual situations. Okay. And you know, I don't know how this works for men, so I'm not here to address that. I'm here to talk to my sisters. You know how we get, especially if we feeling lonely, or especially when we're coming off of a breakup, especially if our feelings got really hurt during this breakup, or we're like already in a bad place, and then you got to deal with this heartache, right? So you're trying to heal yourself and also possibly hurt the other person if possible. And I know I'm not lying. Okay, maybe I am. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was the only one that, like, when I got dumped or when I got broke up with or whatever, cheated on, whatever, not only was I trying to make myself feel better, but I thought if I could make myself feel better by making him hurt. Okay. And that led to some very reckless decision making. Okay. And a lot of times we do this. We have to admit that. We have to not be afraid to have this conversation. We get crazy, especially when our feelings are hurt. We get crazy. How far you decide to go with that crazy is, you know, pretty much on you. But we get crazy. And the fact of the matter is, if we logically thought about these situations, we would not be so emotionally involved with someone who did not ask for that, make us a promise to support that, or express that they wanted that from us. Okay. Yeah, vengeance and scorn be listen. Like, I'm coming for you. I want to make your life miserable. I want to make everybody else. Come on now, y'all busting out windows and stuff. But if we would step back and let's go back to the drawing board, okay? First of all, y'all need to start asking yourself, did this man even ask to be in a relationship with you? And let's not act like we don't make up relationships in our imagination, because we do. And I'm going to tell you where we go wrong when we make them up. When we don't make a man be clear on where he stands with us, right? You'll just accept whatever time he has, whatever he has. When you accept that, oh, let's not put any titles on it while you're still having sex with him, because that's the only time that you care. That's the only time that you care, when you're having sex with him. Don't get me wrong, you can like him, and you know, you might like him a little bit, sure, but you're not on him like that. You're not on him like that. If he has not known you in that way, let's be real, you're not on him like that. You're just not. Charges follow me to this day from 17 years ago for the same issue. It's not worth it. That's the topic. That's the main. It's not worth it. Okay, so let's step back. Are you in a relationship in your imagination, or did this man actually express that he wants to be in a relationship with you. Let's go there, because a lot of us make up scenarios and we feel like, oh, because we're infatuated or we're in love, he should be too, or because, oh, he's spending all of his time with us right now, you know, that mean that he love us too. But like, y'all know they get bored too, right? And sometimes you're just entertainment, and you just might be entertainment for a month or a week or two. And see, you don't stop to take the time to listen and have the conversations. Because if you would actually stop and talk and listen to what the man is saying, a lot of times they'll let you know where they are mentally. Okay, they get to talking about how they just broke up with their baby mama, or how they going through it with their baby mama. Then you need to hear that you are only just a filler until he fixes things with her. But y'all don't hear that. Yeah, he's with you, but he always texting on his phone and walking away to take phone calls. And you won't get the hint that you are just something to do in the meantime until whoever he really wants, the person who he's texting back and the person who he's stepping away from you to take his calls. Yeah, until him and her get back good, then you're just a piece of entertainment. It's like when we bring one of the dogs upstairs and take them away, the puppies, and we take them away from the other puppies, we'll give them a toy and they'll play with it for a little bit, but they really want to go back and be with who they want to be with. And it's the same thing with men, okay? And this is the problem, not understanding the role that you're supposed to be playing, okay? It is very feminine to be smart, to be up on game, to understand what is going on, okay? To know that you do not have to accept whatever a man wants to give you. Y'all start being submissive to people who never asked you to submit to them, and then you get upset when they abuse you. You know he got a wife. You know he got a girlfriend. You know he's still in love with whoever. Even if he hasn't come out and told you, you seen the signs. You saw her keep tied when you got in the car. You saw that pink fluffy whatever in the car. You saw that leopard. You saw it. And see, here's what I'm going to tell you, what I know from personal experience, y'all. Especially, listen, y'all that pray, y'all that have a relationship with the Most High, he don't just be leaving us out there like that. He leave little clues. It be paw prints everywhere, but you just decide to ignore them because I really like him and I'm tired of being lonely and he treats me good and I just want a man. And then even when your friends come to you with this conversation, or you go to your sister or whatever, your cousin for advice, and y'all chit-chatting it up, and she's telling you, girl, be careful, girl, that ain't right, girl, that don't sound right. You psych yourself out in your head and you be like, oh no, I'm good, I ain't gonna get caught up, I'm good, I ain't on him like that, nah, I'm good, I ain't gonna let him play me like that. If I'm lying, tell me in the comments. What's up, TikTok, Facebook? Right, placeholders. That's what we be, placeholders. Absolutely, you cannot force it. I'm reading the comments from TikTok, y'all. You listen, and a man is not going to force it. A man is not going to force it. He's going to play with you until, like I said, he can be with who he really wants. And that's just real talk. He gonna be with you, sure. He gonna pick you up. He'll do the things with you until he can be with who he really wants to be with, as long as you allow it. Absolutely. And see, I'm gonna tell you what we don't like to recognize. We don't like to recognize that we as women, when we do stupid things, we mess it up for other women. Okay. Back in my day, a dude had to at least make you feel special. Okay. Like, at least talk good to me, feed me, take me out to the movies, You know what I'm saying? Like, make me feel like I'm the only one, at least. Make me feel like I'm your girlfriend, at least when you're. Do something. But these young girls these days don't have no requirements, and they be ready to jump on them before the dude be ready to jump first. And so now you have a generation of men who feel like love shouldn't cost anything. You have a generation of women who are genuinely confused, because I don't care what anyone says. As a woman, when you have sex with a man who is not your husband and you know you shortchanged yourself, you feel horrible. And you know it on the inside. Like, you know, I shouldn't have gave him none. I should not have even been laying with him. He didn't even deserve that. And then you be sitting like, dang, ain't got nothing to show for it. Just sitting around looking like a fool. Talk to me nice. And so, but see, this is and this is why we have men walking around expecting submission from girlfriends or from friends with benefits. Even y'all be doing too much for not enough. Y'all want to walk in Sephora and grab the top tier makeup at Sephora prices. Why? Because y'all been out here selling it at Sephora prices. What do I mean by that? Y'all sit up here and get this man everything. He can pick up the phone at 12 midnight and tell you he hungry, and you gonna bust your behind to either get an Uber, Instacart him some food, get yourself over there to come. You're going to try your best to meet this man's needs, even though that is above and beyond your responsibility. So now when the next girl comes along who ain't with that, who's not about to let herself get played, now all of a sudden buddy looking at her like she crazy. No, there's nothing wrong with her. There's something wrong with that other heifer that you was messing with that didn't have no standards. And then guess what? When you become the heifer with the standards, you're going to be wondering, why is it so hard for me to find a good man? And this is the part that I know, nobody's supposed to say this, but this is the part that we have to take responsibility for. It's because when you was out in the streets being stupid, you set the bar so low that now these men feel like they don't have to do anything for anyone. And yet the regret is horrible. I got somebody on TikTok saying the same thing. The regret is real. I know what y'all gonna say. Well, I know so-and-so got married and they started out like this and they started out like that. Let me tell y'all something. I wish I could bring y'all closer. Let me give you a little secret. A man is not going to treat you any better than he did when you were dating. What do you mean by that? He's going to put forth his biggest effort to get you. Okay? He's going to put forth his bigger effort to swoon you, to persuade you, to convince you, to secure you, to make sure that you don't want to deal with another man, to make sure there's not enough. He's going to put forth his biggest effort to do this in the beginning when you were dating. Unfortunately, a lot of my sisters and cousins will accept minimal effort in the beginning, and they're just so dang unhappy to have somebody who's not ashamed to be seen with them in the daytime that they continue to settle for less. They get married to this man, they have kids with this man, and then wind up getting even less than they decided to settle for. Exactly. We teach men how to treat us from the jump. And unfortunately, because the bar has been set so low, some of us who do want to have standards and who do want more have decided to settle for whatever we can get out here on these streets because we just don't want to be alone. So now it's 5 years in, 10 years in. You depressed, crying, and lonely. Your man don't like you. He's never with you. He always got time for everybody else but you. Right. The representative is long gone by now. Whereas if you would have just had enough faith in yourself, self-respect, enough love for yourself. And here's what I don't like, right? I don't like when people try to act like money is not an indicator of things. Hear what I'm saying? The Bible tells us that money answers all things, right? And so if you're expressing your interest in me, your financial investment is an indicator of your interest. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I'm a gold digger. I'm not supposed to say that. But is a man supposed to be a provider or no? Like, is this and I got told off on TikTok. I got told that I was what's wrong with the black race. I'm the problem with the black race here. Okay. So let me say this. Listen, we all have different decisions to make, ma'am, sis, cousins, ladies, please. Okay. Because this affects us. Because listen, men can live in conditions that they decide to live in. I've seen them do it. It's crazy. Okay. But we as ladies, those of us who are more delicate, okay, who want a certain aesthetic, a certain level of luxury, a certain type of lifestyle, don't let people talk you out of how you want the rest of your life to look because they're making you uncomfortable right now. Okay. And what I mean by that is if they want to call you a gold digger or, say that you just out here, trying to come up or whatever, fine. That's not a man that you need to be dealing with, because I promise you, no man that understands being a provider is going to have a problem taking you out and spending his money. Stop. Y'all be trying to change these men into what you want them to be instead of just accepting them for what they are. Okay. Again, let the person show you who they are. A long time ago, I heard this saying that you can have a bird in a cage, but if the cage is too small and too tight, the bird is constantly going to try to find a way out. But if the cage is big and roomy, they'll stay there in comfort. What do I mean by that? Ladies, if you let a man be, he will show you who he is because he is comfortable. He can be himself. There's no restriction. There's no confusion. There's no tension. None of that. Okay. But when you get to try to choke at him and making, no, now you're going to push him away. You're either going to push him away or you're going to push him to lie to you, which in the end is going to push him away anyway. Okay. You are not called to submit to a man until this man is your husband. All right. So until that point, and hear what I'm saying, okay? For the purpose of our conversation, sex is marriage. Sex is marriage for the purpose of this conversation, because let's not act like sex does not cause us to do some things. Let's not act like that. Let's not act like you have not stayed with the man way longer than you should have because the sex was good. Let's not act like y'all ain't been fighting in the middle of the street, busting out car windows and slicing up tires and fighting other women. Some of y'all done went to jail. I could tell you a story right now of a lady. No, that's another story. No, not that story. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? He come and put that Thor on you. You don't know left from right, right from left. All you know is you want to live inside his skin. And y'all know this. You know this, which is why I don't understand why you don't think twice before you lay down with that man. You know how you gonna act if it's good. You know you're gonna be crazy. You're gonna want to be in love with him. You're gonna be picking out baby names and nursery color patterns and everything else. And lay it up this exactly. You are not required to you're not required to cooperate. You're not. And here's what I want to say, ladies. Stop forcing yourself to cooperate before you are married. Listen, once you get married, okay, it's not about you anymore. And I don't think that we understand that enough. We don't understand how much it's not about us. I know the energy that my husband puts into making me happy. And as a good wife, I try my best to return that energy. And sometimes that means getting up when I'm sleepy. Sometimes that means cooking when I don't want to. Sometimes that means doing other things when I'd rather go, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's not about me anymore. Zara, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining us. It's not about me anymore, okay? The way a relationship is supposed to work, it is supposed to be 100% on both sides emotionally, okay? Because if I'm bringing my emotional 100% and you're bringing your emotional 100%, neither one of us is feeling cheated because we're both getting 100% from the other, okay? But for some reason, we seem to think that a man is supposed to give us his emotional 100 while accepting our emotional 50. And what do? We blame it on PMS. We blame it on depression. We blame it on feminine issue. Muggy life, shalom and shalom. We'll blame it on feminine issues. We'll blame it on misogyny, the patriarchy. That's so old fashioned. Why he feels like I have to do these things. Instead of just admitting that maybe we weren't ready to give that yet. And here's why, again, while you are single, and listen, even you single moms, because I've been a single mom, all right? And I know y'all praying for a husband, and yes, but please understand that that husband is coming with another set of responsibility, another set of needs, another set of wants that you are going to have to fulfill. Okay, so while you are single, while you are dating, ma'am, sis, cousin, I implore you to please be your full self. What do I mean by that? Listen, if it's a certain time of the month and you know you don't like being bothered around this time of the month, you need to let that man know that, sir, me and Aunt Flo, we don't get along too well. So, these days tend to be a little harder for me. If you know that you are a person that needs a lot of alone time, do not force yourself to be more extroverted than you are. Why? Because he is going to be expecting that from you, as he should. This is the ticket that you sold him on. You sold him a socialite extrovert when in reality you are a hermit loner. You need to let him know that up front. Stop trying to change yourself and think that once you get married, you can go back to the real you, and the person that you married is just supposed to be okay with that. How would you feel if he did that to you? I mean, really, how would you feel if the whole time y'all was dating, he was holding down a job, you didn't have to pay for nothing, and then as soon as y'all got married, he quit his job and was looking at you like, well, what you gonna do, boo? You be up in arms. You be ready to fight that man, his mama, his daddy, his sister, and everybody that told you to marry him. And see what we don't want to accept is the way that we as women feel about a man and his ability to provide and his ability to do those masculine things that we feel like they should do is the same way they feel about us and sex and cooking and all the feminine things that they expect us to do. And I know nobody wants to talk about this because we don't like to talk about gender roles, but y'all cannot keep denying reality. You can't keep denying the reality. Men, dating gurus, relationship coaches, pastors, preachers, and teachers have been getting on this internet, have been standing up in pulpits for years and telling us that as a woman, you need to know how to cook and clean and take care of the children. And we have been standing right back in their faces for years and telling them that as women, we are going to make it a point to go out here and try to be men. And then you wonder why they don't want us anymore. They've been telling us the whole time that that's not what they want. And instead of us listening, we decide that we're going to give them what they want. It's like if you go to McDonald's and ask for a Big Mac, but they just give you this quarter pounder. That's not what I asked for. You get with this man selling yourself like a Big Mac. You over there victimizing him like our father Jacob. He pulled a veil back expecting a Big Mac and it's a quarter pounder. That's and here's the difference between femininity and submission, okay? In my femininity, while we're dating, is my time to say, I'm not really cool with that. I don't really like that. I don't know about this. And it's my time to walk away. But again, y'all don't want to walk away. You don't want to walk away. You would rather submit before you have to and then live your life in contention. Live your life calling anybody who will listen, talking junk about your husband, when the fact of the matter is, ma'am, sis, cousin, you knew he was like that before you married him. You knew he was like that and you went ahead and did it anyway. Choosing to submit before you have to. You know, y'all want to talk about wife behavior, not understanding what wife behavior is. That was Laban's fault. That was Laban's fault. That was Laban's fault, but they still getting tricked out here. Y'all want to talk about not expecting wife behavior while you laying up. If that isn't the epitome of wife behavior. And see, if I go to Macy's, right? If I go to Macy's and they have my Versace diamonds, right? And they're selling the big bottle for $50. And I go to Dillard's and they're selling that same big bottle for $80. I'm gonna hightail my butt right back to Macy's and get the bottle for the $50. So, ma'am, sis, cousin, if all that man got to do is date you for a little bit, give you a week or two of his time, and now you having sex, cleaning up behind him, cooking for him, feeding him and his family, playing stepmama to his kids, and he ain't gave you a ring, he ain't gave you a title, he ain't took you nowhere. You've submitted for free. You have given your submission for free. And so why should he pay you for it later? Your submission should be earned. Hear what I said? I didn't say bought. I said earned. What do you mean by that? There should be a pattern. A year and a half. Okay. There should be a pattern of trusted behavior. There should be a pattern of growth. Yo, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. What's up, y'all, on the TikTok? There should be a pattern of growth. There should be a pattern of trusted behavior before you give your submission to that man. He should have shown you and proven to you, or you should be able to see evidence of it in his life. What do I mean by that? If he's sitting up there telling you all these great and wonderful plans he has financially and how he gonna blow this up and this gonna take off and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, use his present circumstances as a measuring stick for that, ma'am, sis, cousin. And stop feeling guilty about what you want. Okay? If you're looking at this man and he has goals of entrepreneurship and he, is saying that he gonna do this and he gonna do that, all praises to the Most High. What is he doing to work on that? Ma'am, sis, cousin, if that man is 30, 40 something years old, still waiting to make it to the NBA, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at you for walking away from that. Okay? Ma'am, sis, cousin, listen. He's still trying to be a rapper and he ain't got no further than SoundCloud after some years. Ma'am, you might want to leave that alone. Leave him on SoundCloud. Stop feeling like you don't have to start from the bottom with somebody. You don't. You're not required to. I don't, and I know they like to make black women feel like, oh, if you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, then you don't deserve nothing. No, boo, I'm not about to sit here and tell you that. You don't have to do that. Now, you and your husband decide to take on a plan. Y'all decide to put a plan in action. And that means y'all gonna have some broke, struggling months. Yes, by all means, yes, ride that out, ma'am. Ride that out. That's your husband. He's already shown you a level of success, okay? And now y'all moving to the next level. Yes, there's going to be some inconvenience. By all means, go through that. That's a thing. But y'all be meeting these dudes at -50 and feel like, oh, well, I can change him. I can get with him and I can be his muse. I can be the one to make him better. And I'm trying to tell you that for the most part, from what I've heard, been told, witnessed, for the most part, a man is not really going to get serious about a woman until he's at least established or growing financially. And the fact of the matter is, like, you shouldn't want him to. You should not want to get yourself seriously involved with someone who you're not sure is going to be able to provide for you and the family that you all create. And again, here's where we go wrong, feeling like we have to submit to boyfriends or have this super crazy commitment to boyfriends. I don't care how long y'all been together. And again, this is not for those who may consider themselves married, but you have not gotten a marriage license or whatever. Listen, y'all two consenting adults. If y'all are living like you're married and you're saying that you're married and you walk around telling people that's your husband, what you can't do now in the middle of the game is be like, oh no, well, you never took me and got me a marriage certificate, so our marriage doesn't count. No, ma'am, sis cousin, that's the stuff you should have worked out in the beginning, but you submitted to that. And now that's where you are. Okay? That's a problem. We want to submit. I know I'm not supposed to say this. They put that thing on you, okay? And now you want to be all submissive. But again, they didn't ask you to. He never asked you to. And this is what y'all don't understand. Femininity is being chased. Femininity is having enough sense to say, you know what? I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable. And I'm not desperate enough to stay somewhere where I am uncomfortable. You are uncomfortable for a reason. We always like to, yes, that thing will make you do something. It'll, girl, how you emptying your wallet and everything. We get uncomfortable, and instead of us saying like, perhaps this is God's way of telling me that this is not for me. Perhaps I'm uncomfortable because my spirit knows that this is not a good place for us to be. Instead of us taking those cues and packing our bags and skedaddling on up out of there, we will stay there trying to force ourselves to fit in, trying to stuff our bags into closets that it doesn't fit in, trying to put our feet into shoes that are too small, underwear everything too small, don't fit, the food make your stomach hurt. Everything is uncomfortable. Everything is pointing to the fact that you don't belong here. And instead of you walking in the power that you do have, you are laying down your power to a person who didn't ask you to. And I know, see, nobody likes to talk about this, but we wouldn't be called to submit if we did not have a power to submit. You don't have to be cooperative. You don't have to be told to be cooperative if you don't have the ability to be uncooperative. I don't have to be told to be friendly if I don't have, you understand what I'm saying? We are told to submit because you have the power not to. You have the power to walk on your own, to make your own decisions. But again, we're handing over our power to someone who never asked for it and is only going to wind up abusing it. And let's be clear, abuse is just the misuse of a thing. So what do I mean by that? Okay, I submit to my husband. Right? My husband comes to me with a plan. Okay, babe, I need you to work this part of the plan. I'm going to work this part of the plan. Together, we use the powers that we have through the Most High to work this plan and build something for our family. Now, if I wanted to be unsubmissive and not use my powers toward this plan, not only is this not going to be built, but we are in fact going to build the exact opposite: chaos and destruction. And see, this is what you don't understand. When you give your power to someone who didn't ask for it, okay? Say he wasn't my husband, right? He's just some dude and we're just dating and we just happen to be talking about our future hopes and dreams. And he tells me that he wants to do this, 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 and this. And so I, in my ignorance, with this relationship that I've made up in my head, go home and spend all this time on Google and I'm researching and I'm pulling all this stuff up and doing all this work. He never asked me to. Okay. So this is going to either go one or two ways, right? He's either going to be like, girl, I didn't ask you to do all this and send me away. Or he's going to be like, oh, I didn't ask her to do all this, but she's doing it anyway. So now he's going to, of course, I'm going to take your information. Of course, I love this. Thank you for helping me build this. And then he's going to use your powers to build this thing and then run off to the woman that he asked to submit to him. And they're going to live happily ever after off of what your power built. Okay, I'm not supposed to say that. That's never happened to anyone. Okay. Yes, Thor, the hammer. That's never happened to anyone. I'm just making it up. I don't think I am. If that wasn't happening, then there would be no such thing as a pick me or Barbara the Builder or whatever they like to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever names they like to come up for women who find themselves in those situations. So let's be clear. Yes, you can be feminine while dating without being submissive. These are two separate and independent principles. Submission is not just a feminine quality. Okay. And speaking of that, oh, see, okay, thank you, Yamaya, for being honest. Yes, it happens a lot. A lot. Okay, good. You learned your lesson. Well, yes. So submission is not just a feminine principle, and I also want to put this to you guys. Before you decide to submit to a man, you need to find out who he's submitted to. Okay, God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man. Man is the head of the woman. All right. It's in that order for a reason. But ma'am, sis cousin, if that man is not submitted to Christ, then there's a like rung missing out of that ladder. And you need to be very careful, because who are you? If Christ is not your head, who is? This is something we need to remember. As people, as human beings, we are not a self-sustaining power. Okay. What do I mean by that? I don't make my heart beat. I don't make my lungs work. As the second the Most High decides that my time here is over, that's it. There's nothing I can do. I can't plug myself into a charger. I can't put a battery in my back. I can't go put gas in me. There's nothing I can do to sustain myself. There was nothing I could have done to create myself. With that being the case, there will always be a power over me. Okay. Now we understand the Creator, the Most High, is the ruler of all. But the Bible talks about rulers and principalities. Okay. When you hear about people being inspired, you have to wonder what they're being inspired by, what spirit is parting into them that is causing their actions. What is their muse? What is causing them to do the things that they do? If it's not Christ, then run. I wouldn't waste my time wondering what it is. I would run. Okay. And don't just accept lip service. All right. Again, I have a friend who's married. Well, yeah, a friend. I have a friend who's married, and we were talking, and she was telling me that her husband said that God told him something, and she didn't necessarily agree with it. And so I asked her, I was like, well, have you prayed about it, or have you tried to talk to him, to see maybe if you guys can pray about it together. And her answer to me was, well, he said that's what God said, and that's enough. So now while you're dating, okay, that's your time to find out how he handles those situations. You know what I mean? Like if he's trying to tell you that God told him something, is that an open discussion for you two, or is it just closed like that? And here's what's so important. Do you trust him when he says that? Do you trust him to say that? Do you trust that he's hearing from the Most High? Ma'am, sis, cousin, don't let anyone make you think that your own eyes are lying to you. What do I mean by that? If his life is not exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit, if his life does not appear to be exhibiting a relationship with the Most High, if his life does not appear to be exhibiting the fruit of the Most High leading him in business and finance and stuff, then don't let him talk you into thinking that what your eyes are seeing is not true. If he keeps telling you, "Oh, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that," but every time you go to his house, the lights is off, and every time you get in his car, the gas tank is almost on E, then no, pimp, something not right here. Somebody's lying. Don't ignore what's right in front of you. When you're driving in your car and that light turns red, you don't ignore it, or else you could die. You stop at that red light, but you'll be dating this man and he'll be filling your head up with a bunch of dreams and imaginations. But every time y'all go out, you got to pay. Every time you talk to him, he talk about, woe is me, I'm so hungry. But no, he's not going to do anything but live off of you for the rest of his life. And then here y'all go, letting these men talk you. Listen, know what you want before you get to dating. Before you get to dating, know what you want. Because a lot of y'all are not concrete in your thoughts. You don't know what you want. All you know is you want a man. That's all you know. All you know is you want a man. You don't know how you want to live. You don't know what you serving the Most High looks like in your life. All you know is you want a man in your life. All right. So you'll go out and you'll get any man will do. And then you wind up living any kind of way because you done took any kind of man. Let him abuse the scriptures on you, because that's how a lot of y'all end up in these situations. Y'all let these men abuse the scriptures. Ma'am, sis, cousin, if his explanation of the scripture does not line up with what you believe, does not line up with your understanding, then he's not for you. That's not saying that he's wrong. That's not saying, ain't nobody saying he off. We're not saying that. We're just saying that's not how you visualize it. That's not how you would practically apply the scripture. Don't marry him, because then you're going to be on the phone with me or another elder sister talking about, oh, I want to get a divorce, but I know that I can't because I don't want to be judged. When the time to make that decision was before you decided to marry him. Please stop thinking the Most High is not going to judge y'all. Stop having sex with these men. Stop thinking you could play these little word games or however you try to excuse it or justify it. The Most High is not going to be mocked. A lot of y'all out here with your head wrapped and your fringes on, fornicating as we understood it in Christianity, but basically you're out here having sex with men who are not your husband. And then you got to hide a pregnancy. Now you're trying to explain where this baby came from. Stop playing with it. The Most High is not to be mocked. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with his men. Let me tell y'all something. Women, stop acting like you don't know the power of what you hold between your legs. This is why I be telling y'all, don't be so quick to approach men. Some of them just can't say no. They just can't say no. Sometimes it's not always about just having sex. Sometimes a nigga just don't feel like hurting your feelings. He might have just been having a weak moment, a bad day. But now y'all caught up. And hear me. Okay. I'm not saying not to let an interest be known. Okay. Speak, say hi, make eye contact. How are you? Okay. Nice to meet you. Whatever. But me personally, when it comes to like pushing up and getting a number and making dates and stuff, no, let the man lead. Let the man lead. And I've always wondered that, like, when a woman starts a relationship, at what point does it change? Like, if you ask him for his number, at what point does it turn into him pursuing you, or are you just stuck constantly pursuing him? And I've been called weird. I've been called strange, but I've never been the type to. Mm-mm. Stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. Even if, you know what I'm saying, even with innocent men. Some of y'all go out here and you like to flaunt and shake to stroke your ego, and that is very dangerous. That y'all got to stop playing these games. Not only that, but like, let's be real, like, the clock is winding down around us. I don't know how up y'all are on current events, but if you're not watching the news, I encourage you to, or find an alternate news source. I'm not even encouraging you to watch mainstream news, but please find a reliable alternate news source. Because the BRICS is not playing, okay? And they're not playing with America no more. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's getting to the point where y'all gonna be walking around, all y'all women who independent gonna be walking around looking for a man to help you fish, help you farm, help you kill a cow, help you kill a chicken. All right. All the women that was making fun of us housewives, us good wives, calling us pick-me's and everything else, gonna be lining up trying to get some of the eggs, some of the chicken. No, some of what we got over here, go be independent. It doesn't change. The woman takes the leads and the roles reverse, and then both leave empty because of the exchange of power. It's sad. Okay, see? But I can't imagine how it feels to be a woman pursuing a man. I don't have the I guess intestinal fortitude for that. I can't, because I can't be chasing you, compliment, and I would have a problem with a man that was cool with that anyway. Like, I would not. I've always been very clear in that I wanted my man to be very masculine, very dominant, very present. Okay, I've never wanted a metrosexual. I never wanted any of that. I wanted my man to be flat-footed and showing his masculinity. Okay. And so, you know, maybe that's why I always just let my man be the aggressor. But like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want your man to be the aggressor, because if the burglar come and kick the door down, who going to check on the noise? Who going to check on the noise? You and him. It sure ain't gonna be me. You don't want to experience that. It's I bet it is. And see, do y'all remember? Y'all know Monique, okay? Y'all remember when she first got married, and she used to talk about letting her man have threesomes and letting him do whatever. They had an open marriage. This is what she was saying, right? They had an open marriage. And now, what's up? Oh, and now what is she walking around saying? That she likes women. She likes women now. It never, to me, it seems that when you have a more dominant woman in the relationship, a lot of times, I'm not going to say like every time or whatever, but a lot of times the woman ends up turning the other way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I might be a little off, but to me, a woman that would tolerate, be attracted to a not so dominant man probably does not like men to begin with. They like the idea of a man. They like the tools that a man comes with, but they don't like men. They don't like men and masculinity. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, as y'all can see, more of the House of Mono, this ain't all of them, more of the House of Mono have decided to join us this evening. Say hey to Auntie Angelina, you guys.
Hi, Auntie Angelina.
Oh, Atticus being cool. Yes. Don't even get me started on those messed up relationships. So I just wanted to get into that with you guys, because I think we get those two words mixed up, femininity and submission. When we have to understand that they are two different things, okay? Understanding and embracing your femininity while understanding that that does not mean submission. I think it'll help you not just in your dating life, but just in your everyday life with how you're carrying yourself and presenting yourself to others. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to present to some and introduce the others. The head of the House of Mono, my husband, the love of my life, the ultra talented, ultra sexy monologue. What's up,
my own sound effect, man.
Huh?
Where my sheesh at?
Where is the sheesh?
Where my okay?
I don't know. Did you put them on here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well.
I need my own. What it is, man? What it is, folks? What's up?
Did you get to listen to the conversation? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Well, I listened to the first hour. I probably missed the last 30 minutes.
What do you mean?
Always tending to some work outside.
Okay. Always working outside. Those guys. You want to say what's up?
I didn't think so.
What are you doing? You just blinking? Oh, thank you, Angelina. I did a little something different with my hair today. This is a nice conversation you brought this up. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what? I worry that sometimes my thoughts aren't clear, so I just want to make sure that I'm being clear for you guys, and you know what I'm saying, that I'm giving y'all some useful, practical applications for biblical womanhood.
Definitely, just land me back off like what you were saying, man. Definitely, femininity and submission. You know what I'm saying? They're not always, you know what I'm saying, equivalent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can submit to maybe your leader when it comes to your religious practice, your but like you said, man, hey, you shouldn't give every man your all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make him prove that. Not that he earns your he don't have to earn your femininity, but he does have to earn your submission. And we're so busy, especially women in the truth, y'all ready to submit to anything that got dang know some scriptures, that know precepts, because he's a leader at this camp or a leader in this congregation or a leader, when it comes to this, and that. But at the end of the day, like everybody is not. Hey, even the scripture tell us to prove a friend,
Right.
let alone a mate. Prove a friend. And you got, hey man, every man is not worth like, and I get it. Our sisters could be so desperate they done came into the truth and it's like, okay, let me find me a good man, whoop the whoop, and they ready. But listen, like it's man, shoot, you don't know this joker believe in knocking the heads off his woman.
Right.
You don't know if he like going to work to provide. If he a 50-50 type Negro, if he you know what I'm saying, want you to work while he stay at the crib and play
Be a
PlayStation.
house dance.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, you need to, because once you lay with him, you owe him your submission. Matter of fact, you're in sin.
Biblically required, right?
You're in sin if you don't give him your submission.
Right.
So
It's the choice you made.
It's wise for you to choose. Hey man, study and choose. Like, is he worth it? And if not, then move on, sisters. I know it's more sleepless nights. There's more sleeping alone.
And if y'all remember the clip we listened to in the beginning, the lady said she was getting beat on for 2 years. Okay.
2 of them things.
Two whole years of getting beat on. And so I'm sure, when he first hit her, her first thought was, I should leave, but she didn't. And this is what I'm saying. She wound up staying for 2 years, having a baby, and now she's stuck with that baby, and he's off doing whatever he want to do. So we got to be smarter. Submission starts with sex, y'all. Okay, submission don't start at the altar. Maybe if we thought about it like that would change the way we think about dating and sex and relationships.
No, it's not true, because most of these jokers done spread their legs before they done went to the altar anyway.
Right, but I'm saying, like, for those who are single and dating.
Are you saying to let them know that submission starts with sex and not down the walk? Yeah, no,
Right,
100.
right.
My bad. I was looking at it in reverse. 100. It starts with sex.
Yeah.
Listen, once you lay with this man, you're supposed to intend to be with them forever, according to the scripture. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
So yes, you have to understand that, and men must understand that as well, because you got to stop smashing these chicks, man, that you don't have no intentions of getting to submit to you, to even provide them with anything to submit to. Their whole one night stand, that's supposed to be over with in Israel. Like, that's supposed to be, that's not even supposed to be a thing no more. Hey, bro.
Shalom, Sister Delta.
That ain't even supposed to be a thing no more, you guys. The whole one night stand, this whole hit it and quit it, this whole goddamn I'm about to go get me some. That's not even supposed to be a thing anymore for us.
Right.
I know that flesh get hot, but that thing goddamn melty, like hot candle wax. But listen, that flesh get it going. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, we gotta fight harder than we fight. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fight harder than we fight, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, man. This is life or death. This do or die, man. The signs is getting closer.
Yes.
We right here, man. We almost home, bro. This ain't not time to play. This is not time to play. Listen, even if you find yourself getting caught in a situation, bro. Listen, I've been caught in situations, bro, where shoot, I have to pray. My flesh wanna go through with it. Whatever it is. It don't gotta be another woman. It could be anything. But your flesh can get caught up in the moment. But spiritual enough to be like, Lord, I know this wrong. But Lord, if you don't do something right now, well, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this. Lord, I need you to make a way of escape, like the scriptures say.
Well, that's why it's so important how we carry ourselves when we're dating, ladies. What I tell y'all, if y'all not ready to lay down, don't even go behind closed doors with that man. There's no reason to go to his apartment. You don't need to go to his house. You don't need to go to his hotel room. You don't need to do none of that. You go on your date and you go home. If you know you a little particularly hot in the pants that day, you drive your car and let him drive his.
Hey man, if you need to take a chaperone,
then make it hello. If you need to make it a group date, make it a group date. Mm-hmm. But no, that's part of being an adult. That's a part of being responsible. Making conscious decisions, knowing what you're going to do. This is why I constantly talk to my daughters about this. When they plan on going on dates or whatever, okay, where you going? What time you coming back? Who all going? No, walk me through this thing.
Right, so and sons as well. Just had a conversation with my son. We got a 15-year-old here, about to be 16 next month. He want to go to some little girl house this weekend and get his hair done. And he's like, he doesn't think that it should matter if the girl's parent is at home or not. He can't believe that we gonna talk to the parent. Yes, sir. We're gonna talk to the parent to make sure and all of this stuff. And so he was like, well, Dad, I know I gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Like, no, I know. No, man. Like he really takes his walk with the Most High seriously. You know what I'm saying? But also I had to ask him, I said, son, so let's say the mama leaves. You over there getting your hair did. The mama leaves. And the girl just stops and takes off the clothes and say, hey, would you like some? I said, son, you strong enough to be like, no?
You're right. What did he say?
Yes, he tried to make me believe he's strong enough. I said, Negro, please. I have one of what you have.
These kids think they're superheroes. Like they think they are superheroes, and
but this is how the devil, this is how Satan tricks us. You know, because when you just think, oh man, please, I'm so beyond that.
Right.
And then now you got your legs all up in the air. And you wonder, how did it happen? How did we get here? Man, listen, man, you got to be wise. You got to start acting like you know yourself. I know myself. Listen, I love this woman right here with all of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to a place full of butt naked women talking about I'm here to do the works of the Lord. No, man, I'm good. I'm gonna work from here. I'm gonna work at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, knowing yourself keeps you out of, well, the scripture says, resist the devil and he will flee. Mm-hmm. Resist the devil and he will flee. Not go stand in front of him and say, come on, nigga, let's go. It don't say that. It don't say stand up to him. No, resist. That means like, nah, pimp, I'm going the other way. No. I'm dipping. I don't want no parts of this. You don't stand toe to toe with your flesh. Flesh gonna win.
Every time.
Promise you. He gonna win. This flesh strong in the mud. Why that joker bench 700?
Not bench 700.
The flesh bench 700, man.
No, for real. Absolutely. Ladies, especially, come on, we have to be honest with how emotional we are. That's so crazy. I said something similar to today. We have to be honest with how emotional we are, especially, come on now, we have those ladies when we're ovulating, you know, and you smell a man and all of a sudden the hair on the back of your neck stand up and you don't know why. We have to be honest with ourselves. In those days that we are ovulating, we need to not go on any dates at that time, because you already know if he blow on your neck the wrong way, it's going down.
And a Negro like me going to all the spots that has ever been introduced.
I mean, because we can't act like that they can't pick up on that. I mean, hello, y'all know where pheromones are. Like, our hormones communicate with each other. They're supposed to. It's how we keep procreating. Okay, but we just out here abusing it. So ladies, when you know you feeling a little sensitive emotionally, you feeling a little lonely, a little vulnerable, don't date during those times. You know, you ovulating and ready to jump on something, don't date at that time. It takes another level of discipline, but you want something that you claim is wonderful, extraordinary, obviously the most high. Like, you want this great, fascinating story, marriage, and relationship, but you're not willing to do the work to make sure that you get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah, just don't lie to yourself, man.
That too. Make the hairs on the back of my neck stand. Hey, look, you know how it is. I know how I be with this one right here. And I'll be like, oh, I must be ovulating. Because it's like every time he walk by, he ain't even got to look at me. All he got to do is walk by. And I'm ready to jump on him. And I know, okay, well, I'm ovulating. So y'all
Girl,
pay
you
attention
always
to this.
ovulating. Yeah, you do, man.
Sir. Anyway. So just pay attention to that kind of thing. You know, and be real with yourself. If you ain't listen, if you ain't gonna keep it real with nobody, you have to keep it real with yourself. Or you're not gonna survive out here.
Yeah, no.
You're not gonna make up. You gonna in hell shall you open up your eyes. I mean, I know we don't believe in a literal hell, but I mean that to say, like, every time you lie to yourself and follow through with that, you end up in a worse situation than you were previously in.
Facts. Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. Everybody, y'all give it up, man, to Miss Mama, man. I think she out here holding it down, man. Teaching the younger sisters, man, how to do this thing righteously, man. We want to applaud you, man.
All praises to the Most High.
Praises, man. Put the cash app up there, man. As y'all see, man, we've been making changes out here, bro, and we trying to get everything as pristine as possible. Y'all like the look on today? I think it looks amazingly outstanding. What y'all think? You know, we gonna keep upgrading. Y'all make sure y'all tune in too, man, on Thursday mornings. Spirit-filled Israel, which is the name of our congregation. Myself, headed by myself and Pastor Kendall. We'll be teaching every Thursday morning at 9. We'll be going live on Tuesday evenings at 8. Tuesday evenings at 8, man. Talk about it Tuesdays, man. Tuesdays won't be a Bible discussion, but it'll just be talking about things of the world, and of course, you know, tied into the scriptures. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. We got a lot of great things going on at the House of Mono. Y'all be on the lookout for the new announcements for next year's F3. Praise it. Listen, man. Special shout out, man, to Sister Delta at the Light Hebrew Magazine. Y'all make sure y'all give her a follow, man. That's a good friend, good sister, man. That y'all make sure y'all do your advertisements and things like that through her, man. And just tune in to the Light Hebrew Magazine. This time, listen, we're building our own things in Israel, man. It's time to celebrate them, and it's time to partner with them. It's time to support. You know, we're wrapping up, man. The end times is fastly approaching. Okay.
All right. Y'all tune into the Light Hebrew Magazine, TLH Magazine. Turn up the lights on TikTok. Turn up the lights on IG. Yeah, right. IG and TikTok. Turn up the lights.
I don't know. See here, tell her put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it. I don't know why you don't put the stuff in the chat. Come on, lady.
So we can put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen so we can tell the people what's going on. Yanika, are y'all doing any other events this year?
Yes, we will be doing something. So as of this year, so we just did July 30th, right?
July 30th.
August, September, October, November, December, January. We'll probably be planning a January event. It won't be as big as an F3. So after, yeah, you're gonna go upstairs, sir. You can't quit being belligerent. So after F3 will be our big annual event. And we will have smaller quarterly events. We'll have smaller quarterly events that we'll be putting together. Also, we'll be partnering with some other events as well. You know, we got the Drip and Sip coming up, with Sister Delta and the Light Hebrew Magazine. You know, we'll be partnering with some events. We have some major announcements coming. So y'all just stay tuned in. We will see the F3, the 3MG website will be refurbished here soon, so you'll be able to keep up with everything. But outside of that, man, we want to let all of our people know, and I'll let you have the final words, Boo. But just let all our people know, man, us as Blacks, Hispanics, us African Americans, man, in America, bro, are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. We know that through the prophecies, man, of all throughout the scriptures, but definitely Deuteronomy 28. And we're in this condition, man, because the Most High gave us his law, statutes, and commandments, you know, and nobody else. And we're held accountable for that. So now that we're waking up to who we are, we have a responsibility. Let's go back to keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. Let's eat what he told us to eat. Let's dress how he told us to dress. Let's represent ourselves the way he told us to represent ourselves. Let's get rid of pagan ways and pagan days. And let's walk in the fruits of the Spirit, man. That's what it's about. It's our responsibility, man. And we just want to say Shalom and Kwam Yasharallah, man, to all of our people, man. Israel, hey, man, the dry bones. Hey, the prophets are prophesying, man. The dry bones are coming back to life, man. All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. Thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. I hope something I said will help you, whether you are listening to it live or on the replay. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Do not forget about the Light Hebrew Magazine. Please go check them out. www.3mg.com to keep up with what's going on at 3MG. We will see y'all tomorrow at 8:30. Tomorrow at 8:30 here at the House of Mono. If you have my sisters that are here this evening, or whenever you listen to this, listen, you have some questions, please go ahead and DM them. My husband will be here live with me the whole time. And we had a great conversation last week, so I'm looking forward to continuing that with y'all. Thank you, Unica. Please listen, share this with a share this with a friend. Listen, your single friends, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, and them. Spread the word of the Most High as much as you can. If that's it, we will see y'all tomorrow, Lord willing. Shalom from the House of Mono. We love you guys. Good night.
House of Mono and anybody. Big taxi in the building. Sheesh.
Sisters and cousins, is that what you was about to say?
3 times.
All right, we out, y'all. Good night.